Oh, dude, I didn't sign into chat. Because I didn't know I needed to. And I'm not going to stop my stream to go do that. Well, so here I am. Happy Friday night. I'm thinking that what would be nice is a way for me to get these guys not on this area, but to go over there. For some reason, they can't cross the bridge. The villagers, they won't cross the bridge. They won't do it. Like, maybe if I throw a bell over there or something, they might. But right now, they don't. They all hang out over there. And I want them to hang out over here. So, I guess I kind of need, like these beds are not taken, and they won't take them if I drop them off over there. So, what I need to do is get them to come over here, and then drop them off over here. Almost make a second town. So, the thing is, I noticed I was missing is some farmers. Farming! How can I do anything without farming? So, so yeah, I was gonna make some farming quarters. And while we do this, I do this. You can't, well, no, you can't chat with me. Ha ha ha, I can't see the chat. I wonder if I can see it on the internet. If I go to the internet one. The live stream on the internet. In the web. Dot 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 dot. Am I even live? Yeah, it's live, dude. There it is. Alright, so I'm in chat in the main window. Wonder how it looks. Oh well. Anyways. Yeah, so I'm in chat. And I wanted to talk about stuff. Like I don't know how to make money off of it. Alright, that's a good start. All I'm doing is transporting materials from one side to the other, because you can't farm on sand. you need to have a proper place to grow. So that's what I'm doing here. Alright. I have to remember, I have to like watch my volume. Well, happy Friday night. Like, what are my options? I could have went out. Where? To a bar? I don't really want to drink alcohol. I don't have the good alcohol, what's it called? Associations that other people do. I don't associate alcohol with a good time, like the way other people do. I guess I could go see a live music show, but maybe when I was young, that was like rah rah rah, like young, I mean like 20s, or maybe back then it was like, yeah, sure, rah rah rah, but anymore, I don't know. Maybe that's just me like I'm getting old. I don't. What is it to feel anymore? No, I went to the gym for the first time in years. And oh man, I hurt myself today. Well, yesterday and the day before. The first 2 times. The first day I went, I like lost my focus or like lost my discipline and went way too hard. I was supposed to just do each thing like once, lightly, just to get the whole thing going. And I ended up like lifting. I mean, not lifting, but like lifting heavier, way heavier. And yeah, and like after not doing it for many years, it like I almost like I overexerted myself. I simultaneously was on the verge of like puking and passing out. And losing control of my bowels. Like, yeah, it's no joke. No joke, that exertion. After a long time of not doing anything. Like, after COVID hit, it just like, I like became hermit man. So yeah. Is this thing even on? Yo. Yes, it's on. Alright. Ha 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 ha. It's on. It's on like I don't know. It's on like Tron? No. Just spreading soil over the lowlands, the wetlands. Working the land. No. So yeah. Oh wait, no, what are you doing? You need that. You need this. You're clearing it out, remember? So yeah. What is going on in the world, Tron? Let's see. There's a lot of drama with Donald Trump trying to wrestle back control of the media narrative from Kamala Harris. It's so weird now, dudes. It's so weird. I don't know. Maybe it was always like this, but I don't think so. Like, the only states that matter are the battleground states. Like, they totally ignore all the other states. And that's an artifact of the electoral college system. We should move to a popular vote of the president, is what I'm saying. Because the electoral college is just one more layer of abstraction that's absolutely unnecessary. It's legacy software, man. And it doesn't accurately reflect the people. In fact, it does the opposite. Donald Trump has never won the popular vote. Sure, he may have weaseled his way out with a electoral college win once with the help of Russia, but that's it. So, the electoral college doesn't serve the people. It serves the elites who want fine-grained control of the machine. It's just one more layer for no reason. So what does that mean? That means Republicans haven't won the president, like, I think only one term of the yeah, Republicans have only won the popular vote once in like 40 years. But they control the presidency. George W. Bush lost the popular vote in his first election. No joke. That's pretty good. It's nice, even. The sand level layer is preserved. I'm just like spreading soil on top of it, and I can make a nice farm there. Nice farm house. A couple farmhouses. Happy Friday night. For me, it's Friday. I know for a lot of people they're working. And it sucks. Well, for some of them, it doesn't suck. I don't know, if it didn't suck, it wouldn't be work. I don't know. Is that generally true? I mean... I'm sure there's people who like their jobs. It's just a cynical trope to say that people hate their jobs. I mean, maybe they do. I don't hate my job. Let me tell you, I'm happily employed. But there are people out there who do. They're being exploited. I went to Popeyes today for lunch. I had a coupon. That's why I went, because I have a coupon. Otherwise, come on, I don't want to spend money. But I had a coupon. And I went, and the place was absolutely slammed. Like, there was only 3 people working behind the register, or behind the counter. Like that's it. It was, and they had like a ton of people. And everyone handled it cool. It was amazing. Everyone was cool. Like, yeah, dude, there was a lot of people, and some people had to wait a while for their food. But like, everyone was cool. Everyone understood. And the employees were great, and like, yeah, everyone was cool. Understanding. It was good. It was good. I don't know. I think there could be balance balance changes made. Because, I mean, once they had a fourth person, it ran a little bit better. But by then, like, most people had cleared out. I can keep covering the beach. I've got the dirt. In fact, why even go this far? Only go as far as I need to, man. Which is to here, and then it's dirt again. Anyways, I have no idea what brought that up. Popular vote, yeah, the Senate. Anyway, yeah, Republicans sucking. Donald Trump is like, yeah. So everyone knows what the deal is, right? Like, I think we figured out the play that Donald Trump is going to try to do this time. So Donald Trump did not get arrested. He did not face consequences for his attempted overthrow of the government. But, you know, there were people who did get consequences. Does it work? Is it gonna work? Is it gonna work? Is it gonna work? No. Yes. Yes. So there we go. These guys did get consequences. They face consequences. Big ass consequences, dude. Enrico Tarrio. Enrico Tarrio. I don't know how you say his name. Fucking 22 years in prison. Dude's is in the pen for 22 years. Wow. What did he do? He got convicted of seditious conspiracy. Do you know what that means? Seditious seditious is you know, the adjective, I guess, version of sedition. And sedition is like a noun. It's a thing. It's a concept. It's an act. Sedition is overthrowing the government. Rebelling against the government. That's sedition. So seditious conspiracy is a conspiracy to overthrow the government. And Enrico Tarrio is in prison for 22 years because he was engaged in a conspiracy to overthrow the government. That's why people say it's an insurrection. It was an insurrection. Because Enrico Tarrio was convicted of seditious conspiracy, and the definition of seditious conspiracy is a conspiracy to overthrow the government. And how did they want to overthrow the government? They did it through insurrection. They violently attacked the Capitol with the intent of stopping the vote from being counted. And likely to kill the Congress if they could. If they can get there. So we already know, like, these guys, none of these guys are big power players. All these guys, Enrico Tarrio, David Nicholas Dempsey in prison for 20 years. Stuart Rhodes is with the Oath Keepers. Oath Keepers is like the 3%ers. They're like a group that wants to overthrow the government. All right. Proud Boys, same thing. And when I say a group that wants to overthrow the government, I mean white supremacists. Because if you're trying to overthrow the Constitution, and you're trying to overthrow the vote, stop the democratic vote from happening. Because you want the loser to take power. I mean, that's all. That's all. That's seditious conspiracy. That's an insurrection. So they're gonna try it again, is what I'm saying, right? They're gonna try it again. I should probably move this a little bit, and that would. No, I want to cover that up. All right, there we go. What are we doing here? Ethan Nordine, I think he was part of like the spearhead to break into the Capitol, to break the police lines. Ooh, isn't that nice? Then you got Ethan Nordine. Who else is up there? Stuart Rose, Joe Biggs, Proud Boys. Oh, Ethan Nordine, yeah, see, Proud Boys, and Zach Rail. All those three are Proud Boys, and they're in prison for 18, 17, and 15 years. Dude, did you watch that trial? It was like I read live tweets from reporters who were reporting on it, and it was brutal. It was brutal for them. Like, they got caught in so many lies. The Proud Boys. The Proud Boys, like, they tried to lie their way through, and it was terrible. Like, in one instance, he's like, "Is that you wearing this outfit?" And he's like going through the outfit and noting like the sunglasses he had on, and the hoodie, and the water bottle, and all sorts of stuff, right? He's like, "Yep, that's me, that's me, that's me, that's me." And then they show the picture of that same guy doing all these crimes, like attacking police officers and stealing a shield and shit like that. And then the guy'd be like, "Nope, nope, that's not me." Like, it's so funny. I mean, like, not that I'm like in the prosecution, right? I'm not really like normally like rah government. It's kind of crazy, right, that I'm even saying it. But my idea is that the people who will take advantage of the chaos, the ones who are best positioned to take advantage of the chaos, is not the left. It's the fascists. The fascists are the ones in the best position to take advantage of chaos. Which, I don't know, it may not be true, right? Because look just what, like, you can almost, like, if you check it out, it's almost as if like, it was like a simultaneous advancement of the left. In France, it was feared that the far right would take power of the government, and actually the left took power against everyone, and everyone was surprised. And then in England, the Tories, the right wing, finally lost power, and Labour got in. Now, I don't know how Labour-y is Labour, but you know, I don't know much. Ooh, I shot a horse. Sorry, horse. I meant to shoot a skeleton, but I can't see anything. Anyways, Yeah. So, and then if we can do it here in the United States, if we can elect a trifecta, a Dem trifecta, like we can enact like great stuff. Like, you don't have to play defensive like right away. But the sticky issue remains, which is Palestine. Now, it was reported, I read a report that said protesters again disrupted Harris's speech. The last time protesters disrupted Harris's speech, she did her she said I'm speaking, and that like got a big cheer from people. Right. But it alienated all the Palestinian people. So this time she was interrupted again. And it's getting more dirt. She got interrupted again. And this time, instead of saying I'm speaking, she had a new comeback. Her new comeback was yeah, ceasefire today, and then right after that she said bring the hostages home. But that's even not a good way of saying it. Because who's the, like, it sounds to me like Israel is the one who doesn't want to come to the negotiating table. They want to kill all the Palestinian people, which is what they're doing right now. Like, all these potential peace deals have all fallen through. And it's because Bibi Netanyahu, who is the dude, has an interest in keeping the war going. He's on trial for crimes, for corruption, but the trial is on hold because of the war. So if the war were to stop, then Bibi Netanyahu would have to face trial. But it doesn't matter, right? Because in the election, like, he's starting to make a government again. He's starting to win the government of control. They're having an election, and the way they do it is different than the way the United States does it. I don't understand it quite, but I guess there's several rounds of voting, and then they make coalitions to get above like the magic number to take control of the government. But the far right basically is banding together, and so they're doing the opposite of what's going on in France, the UK, and hopefully in the USA. So even her attempt to side with Israel by saying return the hostages, like Bibi Netanyahu himself said that he's not into like getting the hostages back. He's more into like destroying Hamas. That's all he wants to do. And quote, destroying Hamas, quote, is code for killing the Palestinian people, for the genocide of the Palestinian people. They can kill anybody they want and then say they were Hamas, because there's no actual trial or anything. There's no nothing. They just kill people. And so the problem is, like, what reason does the United States have to remain? Let me get this down. What reason do the United States have to support Netanyahu anyways? Because, like, his genocide, he's gonna win control of the government. The Israeli government, so the United States policy, official policy, is the two-state solution. That's the official policy. I need to dig up dirt, is what I'm getting to. However, the Israeli government passed the law saying that no, they're opposed to the two-state solution. They want a one-state solution. So the Israeli government doesn't even want the two-state solution. Why is the United States helping them out? And I can think of the only reason is that there's military significance that I don't like. I'm not a military guy, right? I'm not gonna know this. So, but I'm thinking there's got to be some kind of military significance to the state of Israel to do this. Why else, right? Why else expend lots and lots of money? I mean, really, they're not expending money. I read today that the Biden administration released $3.5 billion to Israel after they've committed genocide after massacre after massacre. The Biden administration released $3.5 billion. However, it wasn't that we just gave them $3.5 billion. No. What it is it's more like credit. We gave Israel credit of $3.5 billion, and they have to spend that credit on what? American hardware. Do you see how that works? We gave them the money, but they can only spend the money on buying American weapons. That's it. They can't spend the money on anything else. So they don't really have money. They get credit to spend at the US store. So is it purely business that the United States wants Israel there just to make money? I don't know. Joe Biden said he's a Zionist. And what is a Zionist? Zionism is settler colonialism. It's the idea that oh, I can't do this. I gotta take the voxelation off. Hold on a second. Hold on. Sorry. Okay. Alright, this will make it more bearable. Not as realistic, but bearable. Oh, what was I talking about? What was I talking about? Man, I was riffing. Can I hear myself? Like in the delay? What was I talking about? No. Oh, Israel. Yeah. What's up with Israel? Why is the United States doing this? And then Joe Biden said he was a Zionist. So what is a Zionist? Zionism is settler colonialism. It's saying that God, or not God, but Jehovah or Yahweh or whatever entity you want to call it, like, gave that land to the Jewish people, like, how long, like 3,000 years ago? I don't know how long ago. But then they got wrecked. And then it was gone, right? For like it's gone. Like Rome's gone, right? It's gone. So Zionism uses that history to justify the annexation and dispossession of the land from the people that live there. You know how in the United States, I think it was Madison? Was it Madison? James Madison, I think. I don't know. I gotta look it up. Oh, shit. Now I feel dumb. Manifest Destiny. Wikipedia tells me that manifest destiny was a phrase that represented the belief in the 19th century United States that American settlers were destined to expand westward across North America, and that this belief was both obvious, quote, manifest, and certain, destiny. The belief was rooted in American exceptionalism and romantic nationalism, implying the inevitable spread of the Republican form of governance. It was one of the earliest expressions of the American imperialism in the United States of America. So, according to historian William Earl Weeks, there were three basic tenets behind the concept. First, the assumption of the unique moral value of the United States. There's something about the United States that makes it unique and particularly moral. That's one. Number two, the assertion of its mission to, quote, to redeem the world by the spread of Republican governance and more generally the, quote, American way of life. So, what, hegemony? And spread the Republican form of government. Like, that doesn't sound quite right because, like, I mean, whatever, okay. And then number three, the faith in the nation's divinely ordained destiny to succeed in this mission. So, you know, in a way, I've been like, I've been pushing kind of that. I've been pushing that. Oh, it's 9, dude. I hope I'm not talking loud. I've been pushing Manifest Destiny. I've been saying that I don't say that America has a unique moral code or moral virtue. That's not what I'm saying. I mean, maybe, like, can America become a true multiracial democracy? I don't know. Is Brazil already a multiracial democracy? Is there white in Brazil? I don't know anything about the cultural, like, deal of Brazil, but I do know that Brazil had slavery, just like the United States. And I think they're handling their insurrection a lot better than the United States handled its insurrection. Like, Bolsonaro didn't get to run away or anything. I don't think he's in prison. But yeah. Anyways. I'm looking for dirt. Dirt. Dirt is what I seek. Why did I even start talking about Oh yeah. So that's our original sin, right? Because in order for Manifest Destiny to work out the way it did, it was because not only did it come with that America was special, but also it meant that other people were lesser than American. So it was justified in stealing their stuff and killing them because they're not American and they're in the way of American expression. Well, empire, whatever. So it's not like it was expressed in a wholesome manner. Oh man, this is all deep. This is all underwater. Alright, never mind. I'm gonna end it here. Thanks. No dirt. I think the United States is special for a different reason. Because we're gonna have multiracial democracy. What is multiracial democracy? It means a democracy in which no one group has a majority over anybody else. So you know how I was telling you, like the right-wing government in a... Oh yeah, that's right. That's how I was tying it together. So the right-wing government, like the UK went left, France went left, USA hopefully goes left. That'd be 3 lefts. And then in Ukraine did something like amazing. Ukraine sent 2 battalions of troops into Russian territory. And they're occupying Russian territory right now. So they're on the offensive. And the goal of that offense is not to like seize territory. I mean, maybe if they want to trade later on. But to force Russia into abandoning its offensive at another city. So they have to draw forces away from the city, or from the attack, in order to defend their own territory. That's Ukraine's goal. But like, it's working out like way better than it should. Like Russia's awesome on the offense. How are they on defense? And the Russians are all freaking out, going, "How dare they? Like, this is horrible that we're being invaded." It's like, you fucking idiots! You guys are the ones who are invading. You invaded Ukraine. Like, that's why Ukraine invaded you, because you invaded them. All you have to do is leave. All the Russians have to do is leave. So on multiple fronts, the left is advancing. I put Vladimir Putin in the same camp as Donald Trump and Iran. So, yeah, the news is, at last, the left goes on the offensive. So, the Russians cannot adapt to their territory being attacked. And like the way that Donald Trump can't really adapt to Kamala Harris. All he can do is double down on the racism and sexism. Like, Donald Trump is literally a criminal. And Kamala Harris is literally a cop. Well, I wouldn't say literally a cop, but she was a prosecutor. She prosecuted sex criminals, like Donald Trump. Donald Trump was a sex criminal. Dirt. That's what I'm looking for. Dirt. Yes, Donald Trump is a sex criminal. He was all over the Epstein flight logs. You notice how they stopped talking about Epstein now? Now that it's Donald Trump inside of it, in there? Notice how Epstein was killed while Donald Trump was president and had control of the federal prisons? Remember when Donald Trump sent that hit squad to kill Michael Reynolds? During the George Floyd protests, a bunch of terrorists that would be Proud Boys and white supremacists and their groups, Patriot Front, who I don't know their funky names, but they're weird names, dude. They're weird, but they would go to Portland to terrorize the town. And there was a bunch of them that had cornered. Oh, I did that. I'm the one who put that there. Yeah, there was they cornered one guy, and they were gonna jump him. Like a bunch of them were gonna jump him, and one of them had pepper spray. And the guy had the pepper spray out, and he's about to spray, when Michael Reynolds took out his gun and defended himself and shot the guy. And the video, you can see the video as the bullet goes through the pepper spray canister, because Aaron, that's his name, Aaron, I think, had it out to use it, and it was shot through that and hit him, and then he died. And then Michael Reynolds fled to Washington, and then Donald Trump sent a hit squad to kill him. Like, you would think, hey dude, why don't you take that guy in and put him on trial? Right? That's what you do. You put the guy on trial. You don't fucking send a hit squad and kill the guy. But that's what Donald Trump did. He sent a hit squad to kill Michael Reynolds. So of course he's gonna abuse the court system, or the law enforcement / penal system, for to attack his enemies. Of course he will. And who is Donald Trump's enemy? Hold on.
An invitation into Donald Trump's world. Footage from 1992 found in the NBC archives shows the future president welcoming Jeffrey Epstein to his Mar-a-Lago estate. The get-together more than a decade before Epstein pleaded guilty to prostitution charges in Florida. Both men are seen enjoying themselves, Trump pointing out women dancing in front of them. An apparently friendly encounter with a man the president is now looking to distance himself from.
Well, I knew him like everybody in Palm Beach knew him. I had a falling out with him a long time ago. I don't think I've spoken to him for 15 years. I wasn't a fan.
Epstein, who has pleaded not guilty to federal sex trafficking and conspiracy charges in New York, is fighting to be released from jail while he waits for his trial. His lawyers now offering an explanation for the most mysterious item uncovered in a search of Epstein's Manhattan mansion. An expired foreign passport revealed by prosecutors as they tried to convince a judge that Epstein is a serious flight risk. The passport appearing to show Epstein's photo, but under a different name. His residence listed as Saudi Arabia. Epstein's attorneys describing him as an affluent member of the Jewish faith now say he acquired the document from Austria in the 1980s for personal protection while traveling in the Middle East, adding it was only to be presented to potential kidnappers, hijackers, or terrorists should violent episodes occur. The explanation coming as one of Epstein's accusers called on other alleged victims to tell their stories.
If you have already made the decision to come forward, thank you. If you have not, the time is now.
Courtney Wild first told authorities Epstein sexually abused her more than a decade ago, and says she was kept in the dark about the secret deal he cut with federal prosecutors in Florida in 2007.
My voice was muted by the same government that was supposed to protect me.
Law enforcement officials across the country now working to...
So did you catch that detail? Listen.
This was muted by the same government that was supposed to protect me.
Law enforcement officials across the country now working.
The government didn't tell her about the trial of Jeffrey Epstein, so she couldn't testify.
Epstein sexually abused her more than a decade ago and says she was kept in the dark about the secret deal he cut with federal prosecutors in Florida in 2007.
So, in other words, there was a deal that Epstein made with the government, and it was secret. They didn't tell the victim of the crime, like, that it was going to happen. They just went ahead and did it. Who was the Attorney General for Donald Trump? The outlaw Billy Barr. Billy Barr. Bill Barr. William Barr. That guy is like totally corrupt. You have to understand, the Attorney General, Bill Barr, was totally corrupt. Totally corrupt. Corrupt back to the Iran-Contra affair days. Like, he's been around for a long time. That's why he's the cleaner. So Attorney General was the guy who made the deal with Epstein in secret.
My voice was muted by the same government that was supposed to protect me.
Her voice was muted by the same government that was supposed to protect her. So she didn't get to testify because they made their own deal with him.
Law enforcement officials across the country now working together as more women speak up, saying they too were victimized by Epstein.
So, Donald Trump and Epstein were real good buddies. And he was in control of the he was in control of the prisons at that time. And Epstein could have said so many things to bury Trump. Trump already was shown to use the American government for violence. He was already for his own vendetta, his own ends. That not in the service of the United States, but for his own ends. We already see that. So it's like, I don't know how far-fetched it is to believe that Donald Trump ordered Epstein killed to keep Epstein quiet about the things that he and Donald Trump did. In other words, Donald Trump killed Epstein. I don't have any proof of it, but it's pretty fishy, isn't it? Look at the way Donald Trump gets out of stuff. Why wouldn't Epstein be able to do the same thing? Epstein was a billionaire too, wasn't he? Wasn't he super rich? Like, he could have done the same thing that Donald Trump did, which is just like delay forever. I don't know. Maybe it only works for Donald Trump. And only for so long. Your magic will only save you for so long. Dirt. Oh, that's why. Alright, never mind. So yeah, I meant to make a house, but I never did. I got caught up getting dirt. So what I'm saying is, it's good, it's good. Everything seems to be like pushing at once. It's all pushing at the same time. I need more glass and rails to extend this rail line to the other side. I need a train line from one side to the other side. I do this so many times. Like, just make a path, man. Or make a rail line. Like, make the path at the very least. That's easy to do. Make the path. Okay. For my next magic trick. I'm gonna recreate this up higher. Fuck the Nazis, the fascists. Oh yeah. I was telling you how they were going to do it next time. How are they going to do the coup next time? So the plan the first time, their plan, the first time was go higher. Their plan the first time was to delay the vote, the certification of the vote, long enough for there to be an injunction filed to the Supreme Court. And they were going to do, all I got is cobblestone. They were going to do the same thing they did in 2000. They're going to do the same thing. They're going to send it to the Supreme Court. The injunction would send the whole thing to the Supreme Court, and then the Supreme Court would rule six whatever, to award it to the Republicans, to Donald Trump. No, that's probably too soon. Okay, that was their plan. To kick it to the Supreme Court so they could decide it the way just like they did in 2000. But that didn't work because Nancy Pelosi called the Congress back into session, and they finished it at midnight. Of that same day. So there wasn't time to file the injunction. They needed to delay it at least a day, and they couldn't do it. So it failed the first time, but it almost worked. If Mike Pence would have gotten the car, that would have been it. It would have been game over if Mike Pence would have gotten that car and left. To where? No one can say. Maybe something bad, maybe something good. We'll just never find out because Mike Pence didn't get in the car. That's funny. So they tried it then, right? So that was the plan the first time, and it didn't work out for them. We barely saved our we barely saved it, guys. So this time, because Donald Trump doesn't control the government, it's going to be a little bit different. This time instead, his goal is going to be to mess up all the individual places that are counting the votes. Like the first time that this tactic worked, this is like an old tactic. The first time that it worked was in the year 2000. So Al Gore and W. Bush had an election, and W. Bush lost the popular vote, but the vote came down to Florida. Whoever won Florida won the election, and the governor of Florida happens to be Jeb Bush, his cousin. so in Florida, what happened was the votes, like the automatic voting machines, were messed up because their vote system was bad. It relied on punch holes, and the punch holes were like not a good way of doing it because they could confuse the machines. So they had to do like recounts, hand recounts of the whole thing, and then they came across problems where the holes weren't really quite aligned. So then you got to decide what is this a good ballot because the holes aren't quite aligned, or is it a not good ballot? And so it was a really, really close race, and it came down to like this one county, like Miami-Dade, Florida, Miami-Dade County, and they're doing the recount, and the recount like was gonna flip the state to Al Gore, but Roger Stone, who is a right-wing operative, Roger Stone got a bunch of white guys together to literally attack the building where they were counting the votes. They literally attacked it, like stormed the place, banged on the doors, and like terrorized the vote counters so that they fled the building. And because the vote wasn't counted in time, I mean they couldn't count the vote, right? And that delayed the counting of the vote. And because of the delay, the Supreme Court made a ruling. Because they didn't wait for the vote to be counted. They just made a ruling. And the ruling, 5-4 along party lines, was to award the presidency to W. Bush. So it worked for them. It worked. They managed to delay the vote count until the Supreme Court could vote and give the election to them. It worked. They tried to do it again in 2020. They tried to delay the vote count in many different ways. But they weren't prepared. So this is Donald Trump's last chance. So he's going to try to disrupt the vote count all over the country. All over the country. That's how he's going to do it. Think of think of what's coming as whole body inflammation. An autoimmune response is what's going to happen. An autoimmune response. And the whole body is going to swell. The whole United States body is going to swell with inflammation. So what I mean is, Donald Trump is going to challenge the vote at every step of the way. His goal is not to win. He's not going to make good faith arguments. That's not the goal. The goal is to delay the vote long enough so that it can go not to the Supreme Court, but to the House of Representatives. If it goes to the House of Representatives, then the House of Representatives takes a vote, and the winner of the vote, of the House of Representatives vote, becomes president. So right now, Republicans control the House of Representatives. So if there were to be a vote on who would be president, all the Republicans would vote for Donald Trump, and all the Democrats would vote for Kamala Harris, and Donald Trump would have the most votes in the House of Representatives. So he would become president. So that's what they're hoping to do. That's what they're going to try to do. They're going to try to create so much delay in the counting of the vote and the certification of the vote. They're going to try to create so much delay that it goes to the House of Representatives, where they can take control. That's the play. That's what they're going to do. So the way this manifests is they first have to create an air of doubt and mistrust. You have to doubt and mistrust democracy for this to work, to get people riled up enough to go attack their local counting offices. Yeah, and then the way you do that is you lie to them. You create propaganda and say that, oh, it can't be trusted, it's corrupt, and like they can never really point to why or how, or if it's or any real corruption. They can't point to it because it's not there. But they brainwash people into like believing that it's there. So once you have the people like not trusting their elections, that's how you can rile up a group to go attack the counting offices. But you have to. It starts with creating mistrust. So we saw an example of what's going to happen in Washoe County, Nevada. If you looked at what happened in Washoe County, Nevada, they had an election, a primary, and the county commissioners failed to certify the vote along party lines. 3 Republicans, 2 Democrats. Well, 1 Democrat and 1 nonpartisan. So the Republicans blocked the certification of the vote. They didn't have any proof. They didn't have anything, right? They had nothing. But they blocked the certification of the vote, and they had to go to like a higher level when they were ordered to certify the vote, which they did. But that's not the point. You see what the strategy is? The strategy is not to win, not to like absolutely hold out on the certification of the vote. The strategy is to delay it. Just long. If you keep delaying it, then it gives you time to delay it again. You don't need to kill it, you just need to delay it, to slow it down. And their goal, remember, why do they want to delay it? Because they either want the Supreme Court to take it up, or they want the House of Representatives to vote on it. And they control both. I'm telling you guys, I'm telling you. Heed my words. I don't know how violent it will be, but like in this iteration, it's a lot more localized. Like like the last time, it was concentrated in Washington D.C. This time, It's going to be dispersed. It's going to be throughout the entire country. In more places, more severe than others. Like you can see what's going to happen in Georgia. So remember how I just told you those commissioners, those Republican commissioners, failed to certify the vote? There was a rally that Donald Trump had in Georgia, and he literally pointed to and called out 3 election commissioners who were at the rally, at the Donald Trump rally, and he called them out and said how like happy he is with them, and he knows that they're gonna fight for him. Like, so you can already see that those commissioners that he called out, those ones are not gonna certify the vote if Donald Trump doesn't win. You already know it. You already know it. You can already see it. Like it's not clever, dudes. It's not like it's hard to see. All you got to do is pay attention. And maybe it might be hard because you don't like where you're gonna find this stuff. Like, like, right? Who's gonna tell you what's going on? Like, you can do it yourself. That's a lot of work. No. Listen to me. Like, I'll put it together. So you can already see the strategy Donald Trump's going to use. So he's not going to be able to amass a crowd at the Capitol again to try to murder Congress and Mike Pence. Not this time, no. Instead, he's going to count on individual people at their local offices to disrupt it. And then maybe he corrupted, and he's got the Republican Party who's going to help him out, like they are in Georgia. Like the Republicans in Georgia are absolutely trying to help Donald Trump seize power. Like, what happened to their RICO investigation of Donald Trump? What happened to that? Like, it just like died. I guess because like the Supreme Court said that Donald Trump was engaged, or like Donald Trump can do whatever he wants. He can break the law as long as it's an official act. So Donald Trump all he has to do is say, "Oh yeah, me telephoning the election official in Georgia and to tell him to find enough votes for me to win the election, that was an official act." That's all he has to do. That's all he has to say. That Supreme Court is fucked. Like, they're totally illegitimate. Like, it's so not just. It's so corrupt what they've done. So yeah, the Supreme Court is... So that's... You can see why they want to send it to the Supreme Court. Because the same way that the Supreme Court gave the election to George W. Bush in 2000, they want to do the same thing to Donald Trump. If either the House of Representatives or they're going to try to go to the Supreme Court. I guarantee it. It's pretty easy to see, like maybe you don't know a lot of the stuff I'm talking about. That's fine. That's cool. But what you can do is start paying attention to see if you can pick up on signs that either prove or disprove the idea. But you guys know about the fake electors, right? The fake electors. So every state, like, in order to deliver its votes, has special people called electors, and they're the ones who deliver the vote to to Washington D.C. so that their state's electoral college votes are counted. They're the ones who transport it. In battleground states like Nevada and Michigan and Arizona, the Republicans, or not, I don't know if the Republicans or who, but the coup members, right? Because it's all a coup, it was a plot. The coup plotters devised a scheme to recruit random people and have them pretend to be electors, the official electors. But their goal was to deliver votes for Donald Trump and not for what the people actually voted for. They were going to contest who was the true electors. And they had forged documents to support them. I'm not making this up. This actually happened. And these fake electors in a lot of places like didn't get very far. Like they couldn't even get into the Capitol building in Michigan. The cops wouldn't let them in. So it didn't succeed, not because they didn't try. You know, not for lack of trying. They tried to send fake electors to override the will of the people with their own choice. They tried, they just failed. So you can absolutely see them try to do like a mass scale Brooks Brothers riot. They tried to do it in 2020. They tried to get enough people there at the vote counting offices to create a riot, and then to get them to stop counting the votes, to delay the vote count, just like they did in Florida the first time. They tried, but they couldn't amass enough people, and now they're hoping that they've spent 4 years on Biden to whip up the hate, and they're hoping that maybe they've tricked enough people this time to create a big enough mob that they can get a serious riots going to disrupt the vote count. They couldn't quite get the critical mass needed in 2020 or in 2020 to stop the vote count, but maybe they can do it this year in 2024 after 4 years of propaganda. Maybe. Yeah, dudes, it's gonna happen. Like, yeah, you have to prepare yourself because it's gonna happen again when Donald Trump loses the vote. And I'm saying when, because yeah, there's more. Yeah. So when Donald Trump loses the next election, he's going to try to claim voter fraud again, and before the election can even be counted, before that it can even be counted and certified, he's going to attack. He's going to send his mob to attack the counting offices in order to send it to the Supreme Court or the House of Representatives, where he can win. He can't win in the election, so he's going to try to win in the House of Representatives or the Supreme Court. I guarantee it. I'm repeating myself because I want you to remember. Like, it's going to go down this way. You got to pay attention when it happens. Like, don't be surprised. Like, be aware of like the parties of what's going on. Remember that in our democracy, the power rests with the people. The people. It's what the people want. Well, I didn't get very far in building a house, but I laid the foundation of the soil. I laid the soil. I prepared the earth. Oh yeah, and I created a rail so that I can the newcomers are not going to be over here, they're going to be over there. I should make this like the square. The town square. Or should I build the house first? Well, no, not here. This is going to be the farmland. Well, maybe... Yeah, some of this is going to be farmland, dude. Well, make the houses and then you can make plots of land. Alright. But yeah, so I've been streaming for an hour and 20 minutes. But I think that's good. Catch my regular show, dudes. Like, when I'm not just blabbering, I can actually show, like, fucking newspaper clippings and shit like that. And videos and shit. Instead of just me yammering. But yeah. Alright. Happy Friday. Until next time, stay vigilant. Peace. Pogo Kiddo out. Stop.